Imagine if the place where you lived had been written off as a run-down, crime-ridden concrete fortress, but you've been given the opportunity to move out to a new home with a £4 sweetener thrown in. I reckon you'd be pretty chuffed about it, don't you? Well, the residents of Elephant and Castle's Heygate estate certainly were when they first heard their homes were to be rebuilt as part of one of Europe's largest regeneration projects. But their high hopes were quickly dashed when they realised their dreams of a better life might never materialise. And now many of the estate's residents are refusing to budge from their old homes. So we sent Joanne Good to investigate.
Welcome to the Heygate estate, built in the 70s to house the capital's growing population. Back then it was a new vision of urban living. Today, its lustre has faded and it's nearing the end of its life. It's earmarked for demolition to make way for Southwark Council's £2.5 billion urban regeneration scheme. Concrete walkways will give way to tree-lined boulevards and more than 5,000 new homes as the project breathes new life into the Elephant and Castle. Sounds idyllic, doesn't it? And that's what the residents of the Heygate estate thought. But it's 2009, not a bulldozer or builder's bum in sight. Not a single brick has been laid. And the grand new vision of the future they thought they'd move into doesn't exist yet. That's because it's all a little behind schedule. The council drew up its master plan in 2004, and to make way for a new shopping centre, the Heygate estate is due for demolition. In return, the tenants were promised 1,000 new homes on 16 sites all around the Elephant. They were also told they'd be living in their new properties by the end of 2009. But it's 2009 now, and not one of the 16 sites has been built yet. In fact, at the moment, only 6 have planning permission.
The whole plans for the Elephant have been mismanaged from the start. I'm very angry with Southwark Council, who are forcing me to give up my home to make way for the developer. And of course we won't be able to buy that houses for sale. We're ordinary working class people.
Helen's 68 and has lived on the Heygate for the last 35 years. She thought she'd be moving into a new home on one of the new sites. But with the sites not yet built, she's been told she'll have to move into an existing council house. And this could be pre-war and smaller than a maisonette. Exactly the type of thing she moved to the estate to get away from.
They just want to get rid of working class people, and most of the other neighbours feel like that as well, you know. It's just breaking up a community again.
The council say Helen's got to be out by September. They've promised her she can eventually move into a new home on one of the new sites. That is, of course, when they get round to building them. But with all the delays, that could mean waiting another few years and a second move. And by that time, Helen's going to be well into her 70s, not an age when you want to be calling in the removal men. Outside, the welders are boarding up the windows. It stops the squatters from breaking in. So far, more than 800 households have been relocated, and some of them are happy with the change. But almost 400 or so are left in limbo, halfway between staying and moving, like John and his wife Enid. Along with many on the Heygate, they couldn't wait to sign up to the regeneration.
When they promised the new buildings, we were excited. Oh yes, brand new house. That'd suit us.
How times have changed. With eviction now looming, the couple are locked into a bidding war to find somewhere to live. Every Thursday, they're forced to scour the pages of the Home Search magazine in the hope of finding a vacant council property. It was 261 for a ground floor flat.
Yeah, so anybody who's put in for that,
261.
1 in 261 chance of getting it.
So finding a replacement home isn't easy. There just aren't enough to go around. And when a choice property becomes vacant, the residents are up against all the other bidders across the whole borough.
As you can see, it's a lottery. Especially if something decent comes up, I'll bid for it, but got no chance.
This is Ernie. He's been on the Heygate since the beginning, and for 13 years he was one of the estate's caretakers. He's turned down 3 council houses because he doesn't think they're suitable. Now he's got nowhere to go, and he faces eviction in a couple of months. It's not the retirement he'd imagined.
I've had 3 direct offers in the last 3 months, and I've refused all 3 of them apparently, mostly because I don't feel they're a fair exchange for what I've got. And now they say, you will live in this property, it's your last chance, saloon. That ain't fair, that ain't democracy to me. They want to put me into a rabbit hut sort of thing. Why should somebody dump me in a place where I'm never going to be happy?
But Ernie, it seems that you may have to.
Why should it be forced on me? Why should somebody make my mind up for me? That ain't fair, that ain't democratic, is it? I should have a choice, I should have a say, but it's not to be. We'll see what they throw at me, eh? Put me on a scrap heap, why don't they?
So it seems that rather than bringing people together and giving them a bright new future, the community living here have been broken up and fragmented. That's a far cry from the enthusiasm created by the first families who moved in at the birth of the estate.
There you are, off to work.
Yeah, I'm on the afternoon shift by the looks of it, because the sun's shining. That was a few years ago, wasn't it?
We had hot running water, which we couldn't believe, because where we'd lived before, we had no running hot water, no bath. We had to go along to the public baths and have a bath.
It was clean, tidy, you know, everybody came in, everybody sort of furnished their own places, like, and the residents were so nice, you know. You could do anything for them, like, and if they had a problem, like, oh, Ernie, I've got a problem, my light's not working on the porch. Can you fix it? I used to fix it in 2 minutes.
Brings back memories, doesn't it? Yeah.
Fond memories. But with the building work so far behind, many of the remaining families are worried about their future. To reassure them, Southwark Council's Deputy Leader Kim Humphreys has paid a visit to the estate.
If we make you a direct offer and you don't like that direct offer, there is a process in terms of appealing that.
Councillor Humphreys, you know
Yes.
me, don't you, right?
Yes.
This is my final offer.
Yes.
No further offers to me. If I don't accept this offer, then you take me to court for possession of our property.
Yes.
The next step is eviction for me. If I'm the first, great. I'm going to have a lot of support outside that court.
We have to go through the processes properly. If we don't go through the processes
It
properly,
ain't only me either.
if we don't go through the processes properly, a judge will not give us an eviction order.
That was a bit heated.
Yes, it was, but I do appreciate that. Residents obviously have strong feelings about this because it's their homes that are actually in the frame. What we're trying to do, obviously, is build them new homes in this area that they will be really proud about.
There's a long way to go, isn't there?
We accept that due to a range of complications, we haven't progressed quite as much as we would have liked in terms of some of those early housing sites being built.